Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. I really got to get some new intro music video there because I cannot stand the change that they made. I cannot stand the change that they made. So I hope everyone is well. Hope everybody's making their Sunday the best Sunday it can be. All that kind of good stuff. Hello to the few of you who are tuning in and to those who are going to be tuning in the future. I appreciate it. Let me pull this up on another so I can see what's going on here. Let's see. What is this? We'll close this out. YouTube. Hello to my girl Les. Thank you so much. You were here early. And hello to Deborah Hutchinson. Make sure that you all are. I shouldn't have to say this by now, but make sure you say hello so I can acknowledge you all. It's really important. It's important to me that I know who's here and all that kind of good stuff, and and all that. So I do want to say hello to all of you. Let's see. I'm just pulling this up on my other screen here so I can see how many likes and all that. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button so we can make sure that we are going and growing.
Learn a new language anymore, and the reason.
Okay. All right. Let's see who else is here. Rhonda is here. Thank you so much. A Good is here. HJ, and seen it in a little bit. Hello to you, HJ. Hello to everyone who is here thus far. Make sure you hit the like button and all that kind of good stuff. I just hit my own like button, so I only got 3. So make sure you hit it some more. Yes. It's been a minute, Erica. Hello to you. Been a minute. Thank you so much for checking out this show. Should be a good one for today. I do have a few videos to show and all that kind of good stuff. So should be a good one for today. All right. So we are going to jump into it. I got a few warm-up videos as we do because people try to straggle in. You know how some of us do. So we try to straggle in. So here we go with a couple of videos. Hey to you there, Yoli from Guyana. Yes. Thank you so much for checking this out. So today we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what men want and get in relationships. So this was the main event for today, or the main video that I'm going to show is definitely an eye opener. So we're going to get into all that. So, all right. Let's see. All right. So first video up today. Again, a warm up. And hello to Yonda Coney. Hello to you. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Appreciate it. All right. First video is up. Here we go. This one's a little cute one, little baby here. We all love the babies. So make sure you all treat your little babies right.
You love me?
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes, I love you.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes, only you. Jesus.
All right, so that was that one. To make sure everybody wants to be loved, right? Everybody wants to be loved, so make sure you love everybody right. So this next video is about a woman demonstrating how she wants to be treated. I thought it was pretty funny. Next woman is demonstrating how she wants to be treated. And remember, the ultimate goal here is to ask, okay, what do men get in return for their treatment? So here's a lady who's demonstrating how she wants to be treated.
Oh, babe! Thank you! You're so sweet! These are for me?
Yes, they're for you.
They smell so good. And you got chocolate?
I was trying to be romantic.
Thank you! Oh, you got 2. One for you and one for me. I want mine right now, too. You want yours? Eat yours now.
Okay.
How about we eat it together? Because you're so sweet.
Okay.
Ooh, that messed my lip gloss up. Hold on. Oh, that's so sweet! Did you think of that all by yourself?
Yeah. I did.
All right, you can tell that couple's been together for a little bit there. They get dressing alike and all that kind of stuff. So, so this brother has no excuse as to how he should treat his woman. So he has no excuse. She is making it plain. This is what I want: some flowers, put the petals in different places where it's going to surprise me. Meet me with some chocolate. Does Kit Kat count as chocolate? Is what she like, I guess. So that's that one there. Hello, Miles. What's going on? Thank you for the mail presents up in here. I hope he got the message. I hope he got it too. I hope he got it too. You're absolutely right. So listen, I told you sometimes I be missing it. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, was this what you're saying? I'm one of them brothers. You got to make it plain. You got to make it plain. And this was clearly as plain as could be. Okay, Kit Kat counts as chocolate. Okay, that's good to know. I wouldn't have counted that. I thought it had to be, one of them. What is it? Lint, or the box chocolate with the assorted array there. That's what I thought. So learn something new every day. All right. So next video is up. Here we go. There's some music playing behind this, so I decided to delete it. So this is basically, what if he says, I provide, what will you do for me? When he says, if I provide, what will you do for me? So that was just a video. So this one I'm going to pause a little bit. So it says, and there's more music playing in the background. When you wanted to go somewhere, but he didn't want to, and now you're mad because you got what you wanted, but he's not excited. So in other words, she's mad that he's mad. She's mad that he's not 100% engaged and enthusiastic. So again, there's music playing in the background there, and I get strikes and all that kind of stuff, so I decided to take it out. So has ladies ever been there? Have you all ever been there in a situation where you have been upset because your man wasn't 100% fully engaged and enthusiastic in the place that you're going to be? All right, so we're coming closer to the main event here. So what I want to do is what I want to happen for today is I want for the ladies to tell us and put it in the comment section. I may open it up later on. We'll see how it goes. And I want it to be in the comment section what it is that a man is going to get. We've got a couple more videos to play here. It's going to become plain and obvious as to what I'm talking about. But I want to know from you all. I want to know from you all, from the ladies, what it is that a man who's doing the chocolates, who's going to some place that you really don't want to go, what is it that he can and should expect? That's why I'm playing all these videos, because I'm sure the ladies have been in a situation where you wanted to do something, you wanted to go someplace. He wasn't enthusiastic. He might have had a little too, but he was there. He showed up for you. Okay, you gave him the hints. Now he's getting the chocolates. He's putting the stuff where it needs to be. He's opening up your car door, all this different type of stuff. What is it he's going to get in return for his interactions? That's really why I'm doing these primer type of videos. So again, it's going to become more plain, but I want you all to tell us what the man is going to get, right? All right, a couple more videos here. We'll keep it going.
You should want to help your partner. You should want to do this. You do what's right for you, and I'll do what's right for me. And it's not hard to find a man that is more than willing and happy to take care of financial responsibilities. I will never be with a man that wants to go 50-50 because that's not the type of lifestyle I want to live with a man. I could literally just be by myself and take care of myself 100%. Oh God. I'm not going to put myself in a position where someone's going to tell me that I have to bring home X amount of money and do these things to be with them. I will just be the fuck alone. But then that upsets you guys. Oh, well, you should want to help your partner. You should want to do this. You do what's right for you, and I'll do what's right for me. And it's not hard to find a man that is more than willing and happy to take care of financial responsibilities. I will never be.
Should always.
So here's a couple of ladies going to be back to back here saying what they want, putting the demand up. I'm not paying 50-50 in a relationship. You got to do for me. You got to put out for me and all that. There's a couple more videos, all the same type of message.
Come with offerings on the first date, So you should be bringing to the table flowers, gifts, chocolates, or all. Men should always come with offerings on the first date. So you should be bringing to the table flowers, gifts, chocolates, or all.
Again, this is going to be a common theme here. He brings the flowers, he brings the gifts, chocolates, and all, whatever else she meant by all. What else? What is it that the man is to get in response to that? In return for that, he's spending his hard-earned money, putting in thoughtful effort. What is it that he's going to get when he puts his best foot forward? Y'all make sure you hit the like button. A few more people have joined. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit the like button.
Men should always.
Someone tell me where we find the real men. I have been out on so many dates this past year with men who have told me that I'm intimidating because I'm real and honest and I know who I am. I'm confident. Can someone tell me where we find the real men?
I'm definitely interested to know whether that is I mean, I actually think it's real, but some people don't think that it's real, that guys can be intimidated. I think that there are some guys who can be intimidated by a woman's success. And if you show up not needing to present or provide anything, as a man shows up and he doesn't need to provide, I mean, if he's not needed, quote unquote, as I've said many times, then maybe he doesn't feel as if he has a place there. So somebody said, my girl Les says, not the first date, not, listen, this is becoming a growing theme. And yeah, it's crazy. Not on the first date. If he brings all that, he'll be expecting bedroom time. No, not on the first date. Well, I'm glad to hear you ladies saying this, because unfortunately, my algorithm keeps bringing me different ladies who are saying all this kind of crazy stuff. Pay for my nails on the first date. Pay for my wig, my outfit, my perfume. Get my hair done on the first date. I'm hearing it's all in my inbox, so I'm glad to hear all that. Yes. All right. Here we go. Keep going here.
The man of the house should pay the rent. Some want to talk about things that I will not accept in my future relationship. For example, in my future relationship, I will not accept the 50-50. I'm a woman that I am ambitious. I'm focused on my goals. I'm not just a lazy little come back, whatever, waiting to get the world. Actually, I want the world. But I'm not doing the 50-50. I can help around with like a few things around the house, but I'm not paying the rent. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. The man of the house should pay the rent. Some want to talk about things that I will not accept in my future relationship. For example, in my future relationship, I will not accept the 50-50. I'm a woman that I am ambitious. I'm focused on my goals. I'm not just a lazy little come back, whatever, waiting to get the world. Actually, I want the world. But I'm not doing the 50-50. I can help around with like a few things around the house, but I'm not paying the rent. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. The man of the house should.
I'm confused. I'm confused as to what the point is of being a driven woman and refusing to help out. I mean, it's just so you can just stack bread or have a social standing. And the guy's bank account is slowly going up, if at all, because he's spending all these stuff on you. I mean, I get that you want a breadwinner. I totally understand that ladies want a breadwinner or someone who can provide. But she was, kind of contradictory in what she was saying. Are you going to help out or not? Okay, are you going to, maybe he pays the mortgage, you pay the Netflix, a light bill. I don't understand. And being driven and bragging about being driven and all that. I'm just confused. I'm confused by all that. So y'all help me to understand. But again, the premise for today, or the thesis for today, is what does the man get? What does the man get for providing all this? What is he getting? That's what we're going to ask. And I want you all to be able to help me to understand what this is or what it is that a man's going to get.
Somebody got to say it.
And I'll be the bitch to say it.
Sorry about this one. I'm going to fast forward this one because this one is too much profanity. I tried to delete some stuff. I'm like, this is on Instagram, so you can go over and watch it. I'm not going to. What she's saying is the women are delusional, and exactly what the premise is for today. You're not helping out. You want the man to do all this, get your hair done, and all this kind of stuff. So I think that's actually the last video here.
Out to eat.
Oh, sorry. All right, so we're going to play this next one here.
Yeah.
Me not wanting to go 50-50 if I live with him is not going to make or break him. It's just going to show him what I'm willing to deal with. And this is the thing. The living situation is not the only transaction in a relationship. I mean, I know transaction probably not the word to use, but just because a man is paying all of my bills and I'm not doing 50-50 with that doesn't mean that I'm not pouring into him in other areas.
Like how?
Like if we're doing business together, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to go 50-50 in business. You know what I'm saying? If it's an emergency and he needs something happens, I can back up for that, right? So if his bank account get locked, we living together, he paying all the bills, his bank account get locked, I can cover the bills until they get unlocked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can find
A man invites you into his home or whatever, y'all get something together. He's paying all the bills. He's taking care of everything. And you telling me if something happens and you need to cover the bills for a minute, you're going to be like, I kind of need you to pay me back though.
Honestly, I don't think I
Okay, I need to know this. What do you feel like you're bringing to the $10,000 a month for the spot, bills and everything? You're going to say another $5, maybe car, so let's just say $15,000 a month. That's light. It's light. He's taking care of all that so you can live and enjoy the things.
Yeah.
What are you doing that makes him feel like?
My apologies here. I shouldn't have did that. My apologies. Hold on. I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. All right, we'll keep going with this one.
Because he could do it by himself. He could do it by himself and do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. So why would he spend $15,000 on what in exchange is he getting for that $15,000 that you feel like you need him to pay for everything?
Okay, first, I feel like me being myself.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why he even chose me, right? Obviously, I'm somebody that you're interested in. You like the way I think. You like the way I talk. You like the way I treat you. You like the way I make you feel.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that's not valuable. So you feel like you're worth more than $15,000 a month. So let's
First of all, $15,000 a month, and I think that she said, I'll play it again so we can hear it again. Matter of fact, let's start it over. $15,000 a month. I think she says $10,000 for the rent. Listen, some people are just. I want to play that one about being delusional, but this is delusion on steroids. Where are they doing this at? Where's this at?
This is how I think. If he's such a valuable person, me not wanting to go 50-50 if I live with him is not going to make or break him. It's just going to show him what I'm willing to deal with. And this is the thing. The living situation is not the only transaction in a relationship. I mean, I know transaction probably not the word to use, but just because a man is paying all of my bills and I'm not doing 50-50 with that doesn't mean that I'm not pouring into him in other areas.
Like how?
Like if we're doing business together, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to go 50-50 in business. You know what I'm saying? If it's an emergency and he needs something happens, I can back up for that, right? So if his bank account get locked, we living together, he paying all the bills, his bank account get locked, I can cover the bills until they get unlocked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can find.
All right, let me just pause it right there. And Yoli, you're absolutely right. Which currency is she talking about? She got to be talking about pesos, right? Now, this woman just said that she wants to deal with a guy who's giving $15,000 a month, or she's going to say it's she wants something like that. She thinks she's worth $15,000 a month. What type of man is she dealing with who's got $15,000 just to spend, not just to spend, but dealing out bills and stuff, and then his bank account is getting locked? What are we talking about here? Right? This is where the math ain't math, and this is where people's delusions are all over the place. This is just crazy. What are you saying? You got a man who's paying all the bills and his bank account's getting locked. It's crazy.
Man invites you into his home or whatever, y'all get something together. He's paying all the bills. He's taking care of everything. And you telling me if something happens and you need to cover the bills for a minute, you're going to be like, I kind of need you to pay me back though.
Honestly, I don't think I would
Okay,
put that much
I need to
pressure
know
on
this.
it.
What do you feel like you're bringing to the $10,000 a month for the spot, bills and everything? You're going to say another $5.
$10,000 for the spot. Listen, I know rent has gone crazy, but it ain't no $10,000. Not yet. Not the average rent. It ain't there yet. Another $5,000 for accessories, right?
Bills and everything, you're gonna say another $5, maybe car every. So let's just say $15,000 a month. That's light. It's light. He's taking care of all that, so you can live and enjoy the things.
Yeah.
What are you doing that makes him feel like that value exchange is worth you? Because he could do it by himself. He could do it by himself and do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. So why would he spend $15,000 on what in exchange is he getting for that $15,000 that you feel like you need him to pay for everything?
Okay, first, I feel like me being myself is part of the reason why he even chose me, right? Obviously, I'm somebody that you're interested in. You like the way I think. You like the way I talk. You like the way I treat you. You like the way I make you feel.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that's not valuable. So you feel like you're worth more than $15,000 a month. So let's real quick. Let's put you here. We're gonna put you here and everything that you bring to the table. Then we're gonna put $15,000 here, right? You feel like if he was like, you know what, I could give her $15,000 and let her live with me and pay for everything, or with this $15,000 a month, what of value can I get that might be more to her? You would say that you're more valuable than that $15,000.
So if we're paying $15,000 to live, whatever man I'm dealing with, that $15,000 is not going to be nothing compared to the amount of money we can be making together. So I'm saying, if he's such a value, this is how I think. If he's such a valuable person, this is how I think. If he's
10K may not be much in a particular country. It's a lot in the US. I mean, for average people, I mean, unless you're living, in downtown New York or New York City or downtown Chicago or downtown LA, average people are not paying 10K a month for this, right? So she's talking about higher echelon, really, really higher echelon, and she still can't articulate what this man is going to get as far as pouring into him somehow, some way. And then this type of man, again, his account's going to get locked. 15,000, that's $250,000. Yeah, she's talking about USD. Yes. I don't know what she talking. Yeah, Eric Dedman says that's bird babble. He's not looking for a business partner. He wants a wife. Right. Absolutely. Asian families, even high earning women, still put in finances. That's why they're so successful, got multiple homes, etc. That's what I'm saying. I mean, what are we talking about here? They just want to stack money and you're not, and you got all this stuff going on and you're not helping out. Free maid, chef, free womb rental, childcare. Okay, this is what you're saying. Free maid, chef. Okay, this is not going on. I appreciate you saying this, Safi, but free maid, chef, and it's not free. You got to still pay all this, right? You're still paying her somehow, some way. Chef, free womb rental, child care provider, free ex-worker. That's not free either. Longer life. That's better health and happier life compared to single men. Plus, he typically expects her to pay bills to be with him. I appreciate that, Safi. I appreciate that. And if that was true, that would be worth, the price of admission, as it were. But I don't think that that's happening in the vast majority of modern relationships. But I do appreciate you saying that. But this woman in here has not articulated that. But I certainly thank you for that. Let's see. If it's going to be that transactional, you should know what you're offering in return. Great points. Unfortunately, let's label oppression today. Yeah. Let's see. if she's living in the U.S., it's probably next door to Jay-Z. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. What are we talking about here, right? And what is she doing to provide? What is she doing to provide all that? Now, Safi's answer should be the standard answer for everyone, but you got to actually provide that and not be a bait and switch or not complain about this, that, and the other. So notice how she only quantified her value based on presence and the potential business they will put together, which will cost even more to stand up. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, this girl is crazy. Let's see. The fairy godmother, parent, and family educator. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Firstly, the conversations will be focused on the waste of finances. Well, I definitely agree with that. So what is she offering? Yeah. She can't count, otherwise. This one definitely had an IEP. God, dog. Wow, you're just going for the jugular there. High five. I would never want to be obligated to anyone because of money. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. All right, so here's some more good treatment for y'all, and then we'll get into the main topic here. Here's some good treatment. I know y'all gonna like this one.
Jamal, what the heck? You were supposed to be there an hour ago. You always make us late, and you know what? It don't even matter. Time is just a construct. And I feel like society, people can, thank you. Next support. People can really learn to take a step back and smell the roses. If you're always rushing, how are you going to appreciate what you have in front of you, which is a man? A man who, is that a heated blanket? Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
She humming and everything.
Jamal, what the heck? You were supposed to be there an hour ago. You always make us late, and you know what? It don't even matter. Time is just a construct. And I feel like society, people can, thank you. Next support. People can really learn to take a step back and smell the roses. If you're always rushing, how are you going to appreciate what you have in front of you, which is a man? A man who, is that a heated blanket? Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
All right. So I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay. So that's the princess treatment that many ladies, I'm assuming you all too, would appreciate. But again, the question for the day is, what does the man get for this type of treatment? What does he get for this type of treatment? All right. So we're going to get into the main event for the evening here. So first up is, oh wait, hold on a second here. Okay. All right. So first up is Tommi Lahren. So we're going to focus on a young lady, Tommi Lahren, who was on Fox News, and she's, really, really right-wing conservative, loud, outspoken, and all that. So 4 years ago, around the time that the pandemic was either in full swing or just about to hit full swing, she did this rant, and it's like 15 to 20 minutes long. And somebody condensed it down to 4 minutes. So I'm going to play the 4-minute version. And she talked about what men are not doing. She ranted about what men are not doing. And she's like, men are not this and men are not that, and they're trash. And there's in her words, pussification going on about men and all this type of stuff. So I'm going to play her rant. Again, there's a longer version of it. So this is the condensed version of it.
Someone who could possibly inspire people to be. I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better. So with that being said, this is a PSA for all the men out there and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys. This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. They're all successful, they're all intelligent, they're all good people. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. I've made notes. This is how invested I am in this because I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks solid now. Are you actually single? That means single. That is the first question, believe it or not, that needs to be asked. And ladies, you should be asking it because in 2020, it's not a given anymore that a guy that's actively pursuing you is actually single. Women do not want a pen pal. We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested. Make a plan. I know it's not rocket science, but men of 2020, it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out. And I'm not a feminist, so please don't take this as a feminist rant. I love men. If you want to date a girl that has nothing going on, then that's fine. But please do not mix in people like me and my friends who have something going on. Quite frankly, we take it as an insult if we find out that you are also talking to 5 Tatianas who have nothing going on. So value. There's a lot of women out there that I know that are my good friends who have amazing jobs, who work really hard, but who can't seem to find a decent guy, even if they go up in age 5 to 10 to 15 years, because those guys all want to be with 21-year-olds who have nothing going on. Now, I love a good Instagram story. Y'all know I do. I love a good boomerang. I love a good whatever. But if that's all you do, men, if that's all she does, probably Houston, we have a problem. Once I'm turned off, I am turned off. And I don't care anymore. Don't be a bitch. Don't be butthurt. You did it to yourself. Okay? And it's no longer my problem. Now it's become a personal problem of yours. I do have high standards and high expectations. You don't really have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be famous. You don't even really have to make a lot of money or have a really fantastic job. You just have to be determined. You have to be in some way successful in that you want to attain some certain kind of success for yourself. You're driven. You have goals. You can handle a woman with standards. That's not going to turn you off. And you're going to put in the effort to be with somebody like myself or my friends. We deserve that. And we will not compromise our standards. It will be a cold day in hell when I chase a man. We have all dealt with men who treat us like we are not good enough. No, the problem is we are too enough and you can't handle it. Number 1, are you single? No, really. 2, make plans. We don't want a pen pal. 3, value. Value someone who has value. Consistency. Be consistent. Don't be great and then fade out. And then don't fade out and then think that you're going to fade back in because it ain't going to work. And last but not least, if all else fails, don't be a bitch.
All right. So that was her. And I can appreciate a little bit of that. And I played that because I think that there's some truth to it, right? Guys got to step up, be men of the word and all this kind of stuff. Okay. I don't have any issue with that. So that was her ranting about that. So let's just go through what we have discussed thus far. And I got one more video we're gonna look at. So we looked at the princess treatment. Remember the woman with the car telling her man how to be. We saw the other princess treatment about the guy who had her bonnet ready and with the sushi and all that kind of stuff. And he knew how to treat a woman, right? So we saw the princess treatment. Then we saw the delusional. Somebody put this in the comments here. All my friends are delusional narcissists, right? We saw the delusional aspects of what some women want, right? $15,000 just for my presence, just for my being, refusing to go 50-50, all those videos that I showed. But again, the question of the hour, the question of the day, and here's where you guys are going to get to chime in here in a few minutes. What is it that a man gets when he gives you the princess treatment? When first, as Tommi Lahren said, when he shows up and just, he's a man of his word, consistency and all that type of stuff, right? That's the beginning stages. Then we evolve to the stages of relationship, the two princess treatment videos I showed. and then the refusal to go 50-50 and all this other type of stuff. Again, the question of the hour is, what do you get? What does the man get, right? And here Tommi Lahren is saying what she's not getting. Keep that in mind. She's saying what she and her friends have experienced. Highly successful, highly driven women. She's in the Fox News or wherever she was at. I think she's still there. I don't know where she is now, but just doing something. So she's rubbing elbows with some people who are doing something. You want this type of treatment. You want this type of consistency. You want this type of man. And she said, I don't know if I believe her, but she said, don't have to really be this highly successful Brad Pitt, but just be somebody who's consistent, caring, kind, showing up, and just having a plan. Okay. So now we're going to see somebody's going to ask her the same question that I'm asking you all and asking for anyone else who's going to watch this video. What does the man get when he provides all this type of stuff? So she's going to be challenged on that, and we're going to hear her response. Okay. Present. Stop screen share. Here we go. All right. So this is Piers Morgan. And we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. This is the Piers Morgan show. I think he's strictly on the internet now, YouTube. So to the guy, to Piers Morgan is the guy all the way to the left. If you don't know, the guy in the middle is he's kind of blowing up in the quote unquote manosphere kind of space. Excuse me. The guy to his right with the microphone right in front of him. His name is Andrew Wilson, and then there's Tommi Lahren again, where we see a guy in the middle and then the guy to the extreme right. We're not going to concentrate on those two guys. We're going to concentrate on Andrew Wilson and then Tommi Lahren, and they're having, as you can see, feminist nonsense. Netflix Adolescence sparks toxic masculinity debate featuring Andrew Wilson. So this is the conversation about toxic masculinity, and again, Tommi Lahren, who is now married, right? So all the stuff she said. She said that 4 or 5 years ago, she has now found someone to be married to. Okay. No shade to her at all. But Andrew Wilson is going to ask, we do all this type of stuff. What is it that we get? And Tommi is going to attempt to answer the question.
All right, Piers. Well, I think, and I can't see you all, so forgive me if I'm incorrect here, but I think I'm the only.
Hold on. I'm sorry. We're gonna play Andrew Wilson's part here first.
And confident and so on. There's indisputably a hardcore streak of misogyny that runs through his veins, which I think has been quite damaging to.
He's talking about Andrew Tate. If you're not aware of Andrew Tate, they're talking about Andrew Tate. You guys go watch the full interview here, but they're talking about Andrew Tate and saying some of the things he said was good, telling men to work out, get themselves together, but then he says there's hardcore misogyny laced in his veins there. So Andrew Wilson is going to respond to this.
Young men. So I'm not all in either way here, but I can certainly see the arguments. Where do you sit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that so I watched the show, and it just goes through a typical feminine view, right? So all of these things are always through the prism of the feminine. So young boys, they don't do well in school. They don't do well in school because it's all programmed for the feminine. Stay still, fold your hands, right? Be quiet. Boys are rambunctious. They like to beat each other up. They like to be mischievous. They like to break things. They like to do that kind of stuff. There's no outlet for them to do that stuff. Their teachers are all women, right? There's basically all masculinity is now considered toxic, basically all of it. The same women who are getting their double shot of espresso on the way over to the school they're about to teach at, they're 24 years old. Sometimes they're banging their own students, right? Hilariously enough.
Okay, so he said that all masculinity is toxic. Let me just break this up for a little bit. So I was watching, there's a podcast called Native Land, and it's with the former governor, someone who ran for governor, Andrew Gillum for Florida. What's her name? Tiffany Cross, who was on MSNBC, Angela Rye, who was on CNN, at least as a contributor. So those three got together and they started a podcast called Native Land. In that podcast, Tiffany Cross, who was the one who was on MSNBC, and I played her before. I've talked about her when she said some things about in the voting thing, telling men to get behind the women and all this other kind of crazy stuff she was saying. In particular, black men get behind their black women, and in relation to not voting for Trump the first time in 2016 or so. So, so Tiffany Cross then goes off and says, well, there's some aspects of toxic masculinity that I like. Now, here's what she classifies as toxic masculinity. She classified, and if I would have thought about it, I would have pulled up the clip, that she likes it when a guy is pumping her gas or drives her places. That's what she labeled as toxic masculinity. Not masculinity, not a guy who's kind, but just toxic masculinity. And I'm saying this to say, I'm bridging this between what Andrew Wilson just said here when he said all masculinity is just deemed as toxic. So me driving my woman around is toxic. Me getting out the car and pumping gas is toxic. And this, maybe it could be that Tiffany Cross took it too far. She misspoke, but that's what she said. And, if we're going to label everything as toxic, everything a man does, everything that the kids do in school, and this has been verified, little kids, little boys do like to break stuff. We want to go out there and wrestle and beat each other up. I mean, that's what we like. So we're going to label this as toxic. Then this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem. So I'm going to rewind this a little bit here, and we'll listen to a little bit more of Andrew Wilson and he goes on about this.
Stay still, fold your hands, right? Be quiet. Boys are rambunctious. They like to beat each other up. They like to be mischievous. They like to break things. They like to do that kind of stuff. There's no outlet for them to do that stuff. Their teachers are all women, right? There's basically all masculinity is now considered toxic. Basically all of it. The same women who are getting their double shot of espresso on the way over to the school they're about to teach at. They're 24 years old. Sometimes they're banging their own students, right? Hilariously enough. And then these people go out to Parliament. The same women will go to Parliament. They vote to send men off to war to stab each other in the face with bayonets. And you're concerned about toxic masculinity. It cracks me up. It's like the brutal savagery of men is a necessary precondition for society to exist. And we just kind of pretend like it's not. And this show should actually be an indictment on the feminine rather than the masculine, because basically masculinity is just punished everywhere all the time, nonstop. It's no wonder guys like Andrew Tate get so famous in these spaces. I mean, what's the alternative? The alternative is everything must be feminine, tone policing, nonsense like this. It's ridiculous.
All right, James Barr, you were laughing, but I don't think
I'm not going to play him. You can go watch it. I'm not going to play him. But I want to get to Tommi Lahren. Now, remember, keep in mind all the stuff she said before about what she wanted in a man, particularly in the beginning dating stages.
All right, Piers. Well, I think, and I can't see you all, so forgive me if I'm incorrect here, but I think I'm the only female on this panel.
Correct.
So I'm really anxious to weigh in. Okay. So I think over the last probably 10 years, there has been what I call the pussification of men. It was everything should be about your emotions and your feelings, and men were emasculated, and this whole concept of toxic masculinity warped the minds of a lot of young men, and they felt masculine. They wanted to be masculine, but society was telling them they should be softer, that it was being toxically masculine if you wanted to play sports and chop wood and go to war. And so men were so emasculated and so beat down that then there was this revolution of what was actually toxic masculinity, the Tate brothers and others, which I feel as a female that doesn't represent true masculinity. That to me represents douchebaggery. And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. I see that as being actually masculine. That's like the man that I grew up with, my dad. But what we're seeing now is these young men who look at Andrew Tate and the Tate brothers, and they see somebody who's just quite frankly a douchebag and disrespects women. And because they've been so emasculated, they're like, oh, great, that's a manly man.
But that's not right either. So at some point, I think we'll go back to maybe meeting in the middle here. You can be a man who has feelings and emotions, but you can also go to war and protect and defend your family. I'm hoping we can get back there. But the two extremes right now, they're confusing men. And quite frankly, they're leaving women with few choices. And that's the real tragedy here.
You see,
Okay, so we heard her and what she said there. She wants a man who's a manly man, who's a protector, provider, goes to war, protects the family, and makes money. And then at the end, she talked about being, showing emotions or emotional intelligence or whatever she said. So, listen, I don't have any problem with any of that. But Andrew Wilson is going to take it in a different direction here. Chivalry is toxic masculinity. Listen, this is what this is what maybe if we have time, I'll try to find a clip on Native Land, and this is what she said. I'm not making this up. So let's see. The only aspect of patriarchy that's okay is to pay for the bill. Yeah, well, this is what it is now, right? How about masculinity is whatever the heck the man decides it is. Feminism is supposed to benefit men by the way of choice, just like it did for women. No? Oh, okay. Feminism is supposed to benefit men by way of choice, just like it did for women. I think it should benefit both people. If I'm understanding your point there. Excuse me. Andrew Wilson is now going to push back about this. Remember everything we just played, and remember everything that Tommi Lahren just said. So what is it that we're going to get?
I completely agree with you, but Andrew, you were shaking your head quite vigorously. Why?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just more feminine or feminist nonsense ultimately. And the covert feminism in society is big, especially on the conservative side. So here's what happens, right? Women need to have feminine virtues for men to be pursuing masculine virtues, for you to say things like, well, what I want is for men to protect me and I want men to make money. Well, that's great. What that ends up doing is it gives you a set of privilege in society. What do men get? What do men get for doing that for you? What are we getting from women for doing that? Are we getting chaste virgins on our wedding night? No, we're not getting chaste virgins on our wedding night. Are we getting women of great virtue? No, we're not getting women of great virtue. The idea of courtly love is supposed to be done for women of great virtue. Where are they? Well, they're nowhere. And so in modernity, in society, when female conservative influencers say this, it's actually a form of covert feminism. They're saying, I want privilege in society, right? But what is it women are giving to men to get it? What are they giving them? Tell me.
Well, can I please chime in here?
Yes, you can. And then James can, and I'll come to you, Sean.
No, I would.
So now she's going to attempt to give an answer to the question, what is it that men get in return for their presentation, for their masculinity, for their protection, for their provision? All the videos I just played, what is it they get for this?
Would love to. I love this whole thing of like, if you're a female conservative and you don't believe that men should be douchebags, that all of a sudden you're a covert feminist. Call me a feminist. I really don't give one crap one way or another, but I can tell you this. A lot of these men, these podcast hosts on the right that like to think of themselves as these big masculine men, and what am I getting out of it? I can tell you this.
There's that feminism.
All right, I believe I'm a woman of virtue, right? Yeah, there's the feminism. Oh, and then you're interrupting me too.
Didn't take long, did it? Didn't take long, did it?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to speak over me?
Yeah, I don't care if you call me. I don't really care if you call me a
strong,
feminist.
independent woman.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Now, for context here, I do think he was being a jerk. Let me just say that. I think he could have gotten his point across without being a jerk and interrupting her. So let me just say that. Let me put that out there. But here we go.
actually interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you when you were spewing your bullshit. So now it's my turn. Okay.
You mean the truth?
Like I said before. So I believe there we go again. Piers, I'm a woman of virtue. I happen to be independently successful. I have a husband who's not only a former professional athlete, but is currently a professional baseball coach. So is he not a masculine man? I mean, I'm confused here. What's your concept of a masculine man? Mine is a man who respects me.
Yeah, that misses the point, though. Like, you're still not contending with the argument that I'm making.
What's your point?
I'm saying inside of society, right this second, right, masculinity is not only punished, but also women on the right covert feminists on the right are constantly and consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. I want men. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men? What are the duties that women have towards anything? What do men get out of this arrangement? What are we getting out of this arrangement? Can you tell me?
I mean, you.
Well, I
as
would
I was going to
argue
answer
that
a
men
second ago,
innately
and
should be
I don't want to
protectors and
interrupt you.
providers.
Hang on one second. Let Tommy
Most
respond.
men are born that
Let
way.
Tommy respond to that, and then I'll come to you, Jez. And then
Yeah,
Sean,
most
you've
men
been
are-
waiting patiently. So
Most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors and providers, and they marry women who hopefully
great.
have
A
some
woman telling
virtue,
us what
but
real
also
men
bring a
are
lot to
again.
the
Great.
table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother. You're misunderstanding me if you think that I think that women should just be out doing whatever they want. I think that
I
there
love getting
are
lectured
gender
by
roles that
women
should
on
be
what real men
respected.
are. That's
But I
great.
don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you
So
need to
nothing.
get
So you
something
should have
out of it,
nothing.
I quite frankly don't
So
consider you a
nothing.
real man.
Yeah, so you have nothing. So you have nothing.
But we'll
No women
discuss
have
in a
no
moment
duties,
whether
nothing,
Andrew
they just get
Wilson is a
privilege.
real man.
Piers,
But
Piers,
let's
I
go to
offer nothing. I
Let-
offer nothing.
But she didn't say what she get. What she didn't say what she offers. Listen, was he a jerk in his presentation and his response? Absolutely, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, he's cutting her off. But we are trying to answer the question: what do you get? And that she's not answering the question. There's a little bit more to play here. I'll read through some of these comments here. Let's see. Okay, I think I read that one. To sacrifice like a traditional man doesn't make sense in the environment because all men get is a constant shaming in a system that is stacked against them. I think this is Andrew's point. You can't get angry at the reaction. He should have kept his cool there, and he could have got his point across without doing all that craziness. Asking the men, wouldn't what and how much you provide be in response to how you are being treated and getting out of the relationship. If you're not happy, then she's not for you. Well, that's a good question. So who starts? Is it the men who start? I mean, because remember, Tommy said this is how you got to start off with. Remember the video I started off with. Men got to start. You're pursuing. She set out. It'll be a cold day in hell before she pursues a man. This is all the words of it. That's why I played it. So a man starts. Presumably, her husband, who is a professional baseball coach, pursued her to some degree. What does he get in return? What is this one? And we don't know what their dynamics are of the relationship. I'm asking you all what the men get in your relationship, or what they get in general. Andrew Wilson's point is they don't get anything, and people are having a hard time articulating this. So I'm asking you all, what do the men get? What do the men get in return? So wouldn't what and how much you provide be in response to how you're being treated? So a lot of times, again, these ladies are saying, I'm not doing anything unless you're going to be automatically with the 50-50. We showed videos about the princess treatment, which I'm sure everybody wants. What's going on? Mature individuals learn how to exchange between their masculine and feminine energy at appropriate times. A man will get whatever he wants from me. If he's a great man, he can give a list of his expectation. I'll do whatever it takes to keep him. Very good. I can appreciate that. The question I would have is, if he's a great man. I think that far too many ladies have dealt with or are dealing with men who are just mid and dealing with them. I mean, if he's not, listen, if he is not, I think I have a video I might play. If he is not worth your time, your energy, your attention, why are you dealing with this man? If he's not a great man, what is he doing that is deserving of your attention? That goes back to the 21-year-old that I played earlier. Wearing all the pink and that with the headband. Why are you dealing with these type of men? I'm asking. It's crazy to me. Met interchange between total jerk. He definitely was. I think he could have got his point across without the, vitriol vitriolic attacks. Mature individuals understand and know how to interchange between their masculine and feminine. I think I read that one. She didn't answer. She didn't answer the question. And she went to Kevin Samuels, shame, insults, and the guilt and need to be right. You're not a real man. Okay, it's a question. Attacking me doesn't answer the question. And this is what I find out. This is what I'm finding. A lot of women are having a hard time articulating what it is that they're going to give to a man. What is it you're going to give to a man? And again, two times in the videos that we both played from Tommi Lahren, these are anecdotal experiences or it's videos. I get it. I understand that. But 2 times in the videos, she said that I'm successful and my friends are successful. And she said it here again, that I'm successful. I'm independently successful. Okay. So you married a guy who is a former professional athlete and who's a professional coach, obviously millionaire. What does he get? He's already professional, right? That's the same question that was asked of the woman who was the 21-year-old entrepreneur. This guy's got $15,000 presumably a month to blow. Why should he blow it on you? This guy had a choice of women, all the women in the world. Why is he getting with you? Now, we don't know what Tommi Lahren's experiences are, but in the general dating market with us pedestrians and us civilians and us average people, you got to be able to answer this question. So let's see. Nicole, good question. Yes and no. In today's society, men usually have to front load the benefits, and that's okay. Exactly. That's why I say you got to front load. You got to pursue. I got to show you that I can provide. That's why you want, not you, but that's why you got to do expensive dates, and I got to pay. And if I'm paying in the first date, then or if I'm asking to split bills 50-50, you get that cringe and ick feeling. However, look at the standards today versus before, right? And again, this is Andrew Wilson's point. What are we getting for that? They used to get chase versions. They used to get all this other stuff. Women who know how to cook, clean, take care of the home, more nurturing, all that kind of stuff. She can't even say all that. Tommi Lahren was given a chance to say all that, and she didn't say it. Instead, she went to shaming, insults, and guilt, and the need to be right. Just joined. What do men get? What do men want? And this is the question. This is the question. This is another one of the questions. I think that it's. I honestly got to say, I think it's sad that women don't want what men want. Because every man in here, I think there's only 2 or 3 of them in here right now. Miles can tell you what a man wants. And Eric Deadman probably can tell you what a man wants. Why is it that the ladies haven't been raised to know what men want? I think that's a problem. I really do. I think that's a problem. She can't answer the question if in the context of a relationship is transactional and the man is the provider. Replay gang. I ain't heard an answer yet. I think Tommy said nurturing children, family, caretaker of the home. Well, I'll rewind. I don't know if she said all that because she's saying I don't think she said all that. I don't think she's got kids yet. I don't think I listened to this a couple of times. I don't think she said that, but I could be wrong. Even if the answer is more stress, I'd accept that. You get a headache. I do all this pampering and stuff. Greet you at the car door with with your bonnet, neck pillow, and I get a headache. You get out what you put in. Okay. Some men still want a traditional family, HJ, but those are not duties. That's labeled oppression today. Yeah, absolutely. Front loading the benefits is not wise and clearly not working. Seeking a virtuous woman, and that will never be the question. A woman presents to any other way run. Right, we have to meet expectations. The woman should also. All right, we're going to get back to the video here. Let me rewind it a little bit here, and we'll try to see if we can hear what she's saying that the men are going to get.
For men to protect me, and I want men to make money. Well, that's great. What that ends up doing is it gives you a set of privilege in society. What do men get? What do men get for doing that for you? What are we getting from women for doing that? Are we getting chaste virgins on our wedding night? No, we're not getting chaste virgins on our wedding night. Are we getting women of great virtue? No, we're not getting women of great virtue. The idea of courtly love is supposed to be done for women of great virtue. Where are they? Well, they're nowhere. And so in modernity, in society, when female conservative influencers say this, it's actually a form of covert feminism. They're saying, I want privilege in society, right? But what is it women are giving to men to get it? What are they giving them? Tell me.
Well,
Can I please, Pierce, can I please chime in here?
Yes, you can. And then James can, and then I'll come to you, Sean.
No, I would love to. I love this whole thing of like, if you're a female conservative and you don't believe that men should be douchebags, that all of a sudden you're a covert feminist. Call me a feminist. I really don't give one crap one way or another, but I can tell you this. A lot of these men, these podcast hosts on the right that like to think of themselves as these big masculine men, and what am I getting out of it? I can tell you this.
There's that feminism.
All right, I believe I'm a woman of virtue, right?
Out.
Yeah, there's the feminism. Oh, and then you're interrupting me too,
Didn't
which
take
is great.
long,
I let
did
you
it?
talk.
Didn't
It's
take
my
long,
turn.
did it?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to speak
So,
over a man?
yeah, I don't
Are
care
you
if
a
you call me.
strong,
I don't
independent
really care
woman?
if you call me a
strong,
feminist.
independent woman.
Yeah. Yeah. You're actually interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you when you were spewing your bullshit. So now it's my turn. Okay.
You mean
so,
the truth?
like I said before, so I believe there we go again. Pierce, I'm a woman of virtue. I happen to be independently successful. I have a husband who's not only a former professional athlete, but is currently a professional baseball coach. So is he not a masculine man? I mean, I'm confused here. What's your concept of a masculine man? Mine is a man who respects me.
Yeah, that misses the point, though. Like, you're still not contending with the argument that I'm making.
What's your point?
You're saying inside of society, right this second, right, masculinity is not only punished, but also women on the right, covert feminists on the right, are consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. I want men. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men? What are the duties that women have towards anything? What do men get out of this arrangement? What are we getting out of this arrangement? Can you tell me?
I mean,
Well, I would argue that men innately should be protectors and providers.
Hang on one second. Let Tommy
Most
respond.
men are born that way.
Let Tommy respond to that, and then I'll come to you, Jez. And then Sean, you've been waiting patiently. So
most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors and providers, and they marry women who hopefully have some virtue, but also bring a lot to the table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother. You're misunderstanding me if you think that I think that women should just be out doing whatever they want. I think that there are gender roles that should be respected. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Yeah, so you have nothing. So you have nothing.
But we'll just discuss in a moment whether Andrew will.
So she doesn't think that a man should do it for anything. They ought to just do it and not expect anything in return. Now, she did attempt to say some women are more nurturing, mothers, and stay at home. She doesn't think anything's wrong with that, but that's not her. And regardless whether you get it or not, you shouldn't be looking for that and should not be expecting that in the relationship. We just played it again. This is her thought process. This is her thought process. We'll keep going here.
Is a real man.
Pierce, I offer nothing. I offer nothing.
You offer me a lot of things, Tommy. That's why I always love having you on the show. You know that. Let's go to a real man, James Barr.
Thank you. I do see myself as a man.
Okay. I'm not going to play him. I'm not playing him. So that's the presentation for today. Let me read through some comments. I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up here and articulate what it is that when the men and all the videos that I played do the things that the ladies are requesting, looking for, liking, what it is that they are going to give. And if there's a couple of guys in here, if anybody else is watching, you can come up here and tell the ladies precisely what you want in a relationship when you do these things. When you pursue from the beginning stages, what do you expect in return? What do you what are you looking for from the beginning stages, from the middle stages in a relationship that is going on for quite some time, what it is that you are looking for. So dropping a link here. Anybody wants to talk about it, or you can put it in the comments and I'll read it up here if you don't want to. Tell me exactly what it is that you are going to give a man who's doing the things that we have discussed. HJ, but those are not duties. Those are labeled repression, front loading. I read this. Let's see. I think it starts with great communication to find out what the other expects and capable and willing to provide. The young ladies don't know what a man wants because they were raised by single mothers and they didn't know either. I don't think that Tommy knew either. I don't think she knew. And she said she grew up around her father. She couldn't answer the question. Pandering a business. So if the question is unanswered, it's put down, questioned, and joked about. It's difficult to articulate in words. I never was asked to explain it verbally. Good women just go into action. What is it? What action is it that you're going into? And just give us an example. What that would be. I mean, I think that this is a problem within the modern context and what's going on here. And y'all make sure y'all put some respect on my like button here. Hit the like button. Well, it's just questioned because the assumption is every woman and or the vast majority do all these things. Men are the ones that have dated. They can't all be the problem. Yeah, they can't all be the problem. If many men are saying this, that we're not getting anything, they're sitting on the sideline, refusing to date. If we're not feeling as if they're getting anything, then maybe that's an issue. Helpmate. Let's see here. Basically, today a woman is assumed that she's always ready, always bringing benefits to the man. The man, however, has to prove he's different from ain't-ish. So the woman starts at a certain level, and the guy has to start at the lower level and prove he's not nothing. I can see that. But what is it the woman is already bringing? I'm just again, she pivots. Yeah. What are men's expectations in relationship? If there's any brothers, I've answered that in other videos, but I want the brothers. If anybody wants to say it, come on, talk about it, type it in the chat, whatever. I don't blame men for being slaves to X. LOL. We have set way too little expectations of women on a top of society reinforcing. I definitely think that there's no I think that there are expectations of men. I think there's always been expectations of men. Remember, Tommy didn't have any problem. That's why I played the first video of her. She didn't have any problem articulating what the issues were that she was meeting when she was meeting men. They were ghosting, inconsistent. They didn't make a plan. They were just texting all day. She didn't have any problem articulating that. 4 years later, you can't articulate what you ought to do for a man who's done the things that you've asked him to do. You can't express that. And this is her job. She talks for a living. Okay, Fairly Godmother, helpmate, respect, admiration, great sex, homemade cooking, intelligent conversations, prayer partner, organization. I definitely need organization. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Housekeeping, I need that too. Effective communications and great something else. I appreciate you saying that, Fairly Godmother. Helpmate, respect, admiration, great sex, home cooking, intelligent conversations, prayer partner, presuming that persons are religious, organization, housekeeping, effective communications. Again, and somebody else put this in the comment section above, that those things are called oppression today. And the man's oppressing you if you do these types of things. So I think he was kind of rude. He spoke over. Oh, he definitely was rude. I acknowledge that. Yeah, he was definitely rude. I would say what I want in a woman, but I feel they should have an idea. The list is short and simple for me. It is for most men. It is for most men, right? When I first became a police officer, there was a lady cop, female cop. She told me, listen, a woman's got to do the 2 F's or 3 F's. Feed them and F them. There might be another one in there. Feed them and F them. I mean, it's not hard, and why this seems to be hard is crazy to me. We're not asking for the moon, right? But again, the two ladies, the two videos about the that I showed about the princess treatment, the lady had to tell this guy exactly what she wanted. I need these flowers, I need this chocolate. I don't know if I'm still going to buy the Kit Kat counts as chocolate, but whatever. She, the chocolate. What else did she want? Flowers, something thoughtful or whatever. So, but guys, listen, just somebody, it was one time it was 3 S's, like sex, silence, and sandwich. It's not hard to please. It's not hard to please men. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. A woman can offer help with home, financial affairs, emotional, spiritual support, encouragement that gets that man back out there, physical intimacy or naughtiness. Well, we definitely want the naughtiness, beauty and softness that guys don't. Something else. Let's see. Nurturing, effective partnering, ride or die, humor. What is the list? What is the list? I think I've kind of answered that. Fairly godmother, and Sassy also put some stuff in here as well. Let me see if I can find up Sassy's or Safi. What she wrote in here before, because I want to. The ladies are attempting to answer the question, so I'm gonna. Safi Lama, free maid, chef, free womb rental, childcare provider, free ex-worker, longer life, better health, happier life compared to single men. Plus, he typically expects her to pay the bills to be with him. So I appreciate the ladies chiming in here. Let's see. It's really difficult to please a healthy-minded man. It really is difficult to please a healthy-minded man. I can't believe that. I don't know if I buy that one, Fairly Godmother. I don't know if I buy it. It's difficult. If you say so, but I don't know. Respectful, attractive, not too needy. Yes, listen. I talked about that in my why mature guys should go after a mature woman, because most of the time they're not too needy. Listen, I cannot at 52, I cannot deal with a needy woman. I can't. I cannot deal with a needy woman. I think the last one was shut the F up. Yikes. It's really difficult to please healthy-minded men. I'm not paying a woman just to hang around. Yeah. 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 It's not hard to know what a man want. Why have you dedicated tonight's conversation to it? If it's not hard to know, because I don't think the ladies know what they want. I don't think the ladies know what the men want. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because I don't think a lot of ladies know. And I think that a couple of videos I showed proved that. Cook in the kitchen, lady in the streets, hoe in the sheets. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard. Typo, it's not. It is not. It is not hard. Okay. It's not hard. To your comment here. I think the last F was football. Yeah, probably. Probably was. Did she answer the question later in the video? No, she didn't. They go on to if you look at the video here, let me make it a little bit bigger here. There's timestamps. There's timestamps on the video, right? And so they talk about why young men are gravitating towards Andrew Tate. She asked there's a question about when was the last time you cried. Cell phones poisoning kids. So they really don't get back to that. Again, the conversation was about masculinity. So they never really get to. I don't know if she talks again. Let's see if she talks again.
A lot of it is this kind of being treated like a bunch of young Harvey Weinstein to very loud voices on the internet, like Andrew Tate, who. Yeah, so they keep dumping on Andrew Tate. So that's. So again, they never get back to it. So that's what my question is. So I appreciate the ladies who tried to chime in here and say something
Fairly Godmother did give a comprehensive list. Safi did say something. A couple other ladies said something about feed 'em, F 'em, football. Those are 3 F's. Heard 3 S's. I'm sure it's more than just 2 F's. Yeah, feed 'em, F 'em, and let them watch football. I can't remember what the lady told me. And sex, silence, and sandwiches. So it's not hard. Treat him like a king. Does the list change for men when he's not the financial provider? If they're equal or a woman makes more? Just curious. That's a great question there, High Vibe. I think that's a great question. And that's the question I think that a lot of that we're wrestling with in this day and time. Notice notice what Tommi Lahren said in the 2 videos that I played. My friends and I are successful. Never, and all said with the problems they were running into. And the second video is I'm successful and my husband's a professional athlete. Never talking about does she make him dinner? Does she make sure he's good? Does she provide the things that we talked about? Does he get a good lover in the sheets? Never talked about any of that type of stuff. And Andrew asked her twice, what does she get? Now, I think that the issue is, what does the man get? Now, the issue that you're bringing up, High Vibe, is because of the dynamic of more women working outside the home, are they feeling that as if the men's needs should be lessened? The men's needs should be lessened. I'm going to try to do a reaction to a video that I talked about, or at least that I plan to talk about, in which the ladies, there was a lady who was a behaviorist trained at Harvard, now is a dating coach. She's using her behavioral psychology to help women who are high-powered to get men. And the issue that the high-powered women are running into is that they are finding men either intimidated or they don't like them because of their high-powered status, and they want more traditional women. And so sometimes they had to date men on their level or beneath them. So in their mind, they're probably settling. And when they do, they find that the men aren't emotionally available. So now it's almost a role reversal type of thing that's going on here. So this question is good, right? Because now he's not the financial provider. We're both working 50-50. That's why the women are saying they don't want to go 50-50. Remember the first videos I played? They don't want to go 50-50. They don't want none of that. Okay, so if you're not going 50-50 and one of you providing, and if you are going 50-50, to your question, High Vibe, what is it you expect of a man? You expect him to be more emotionally available? And that's what the Harvard lady was saying in the other video that I'm going to do a reaction to maybe sometime this week. And I think that this is where everything is getting all messed up at, because the guys don't want to do that kind of stuff. They don't want to sit around being emotionally available. Not real men, right? So they're somehow financially compromised, not making much of the women. So now you got to provide some other type of role, but we haven't been trained for that type of role. Are you even physically capable, physically and emotionally capable of providing this other type of role? So this is where it's all getting messed up at. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sounds like Stepper Wives. High powered is, i.e., 600 watts. My short list is all but never found in one woman. Yeah. So that's the question for the night. So if you don't get anything, I put up some things. And I appreciate the ladies who have said something. Try to provide that. I don't think the list is long for men, but is there a willingness to do those types of things? Is it seen as oppression? Is it seen as if it's Stepford Wives? Is it seen as if it's beneath women, Stone Ages, 1950s, not seeing the value of what I am today? Then again, what did you do? What do you, and not saying that Tommy's in this situation, but the other videos that I played, what are you doing with your money? I mean, you're a high-powered woman, or you're at least making money. What are you doing with it? I got to pay all the bills. I got to get your hair done, nails done, get your car taken care of. and you get to keep your money, stack your chains, but you want somebody who's making more money than you. But I can't explain. What am I supposed to get out of this? Particularly because most women want a man who's on their level. If you want a man who's on your level, then what is it that I get for? What is it that I'm in this for? If I'm paying out $15,000 according to that video a month, what am I getting for that? I could just keep the $15,000, pay my own bills, and travel, or what am I getting for that? So that's the question that I think we all got to answer. What is this elusive list, Dr. L? You haven't told us. I've told you a couple times, Jayla. I told you. Miles has told you. It's sex, silence, sandwiches. It's men. It's the 3 Fs. I've said it a bunch of times, right? We just want some peace, some quiet. You know, Safi put it in there. You know, nurturing woman who's taking care of the home. Fairly Godmother put it in there, like 14, 15 points. I mean, those things aren't. That's what I'm saying. What do you think? You tell us, Jayla. What do you think that a man wants? And not based on what I've said or before this conversation. What is it that you think that a man wants? I've said it. Miles has put it in here. Safi's put it in here, and Fairly Godmother's put it in here. What is it that you think that a man wants? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you for that, Miles. Let's see. I find it amazing that people can stand here and pretend not to know what men want. I don't know if I don't think they're pretending. This is the problem, OP. I don't think that they're pretending. I generally think that we have grown up in a society that post 1970s feminism, 1980s for sure, has said we got to do this for the women. We got to do this. Go out there and be high powered and forget what about the men want. But the expectations of the men was never diminished. Tommy was able to say it in 2 different videos. Here's what I want from a man. But you ask a woman what the man wants, crickets. Can't tell you. I don't think they're pretending. But then you want men to sign up for this. You want men to pursue you. You want men to do the princess treatment. The 2 videos I showed, showing up with chocolate and flowers and all this kind of stuff. More videos in other videos. Every time a man shows up she ought to show with presents, chocolate, and flowers. These are all the videos I played. And what does the man get for that? But then Tommy says, well, you ought to just know to do it. And if you don't do it, then you're not a real man. These are whole words. They're not pretending. I used to make more than my husband, but he was in control of finances and gave me an allowance. Everyone side-eyed me, but I was actually very happy with him with that because he was much better. I ain't doing that today. I don't know if they're not doing that, but some African cultures, the woman is expected to be educated and hold a star position in her career, but her check does not go towards the major household costs. That's the man's responsibility. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But my question would be, what are you doing with your money? Now, if you're buying stocks or we're going to use this money to buy an investment property or build a business, that's fine. But you just can't be buying hair and nails and going on vacation and eating brunches all the time. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work for me. It ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. So much emotional intelligence, huh? Women think all we want is the pudding, so they treat us like. Yeah, well, this is what I think that they have been. This is what I think that they've been told. All you can just satisfy a man with this. You can just satisfy a man with this. You don't got to cook. You don't got to clean. You don't got to be nurturing. You don't got to listen to his problems. You don't got to be a listening ear. You don't got to help him pay the bills. You don't got to organize the stuff. I've seen videos, TikTok videos, and all this kind of stuff. I'm not your organizer. I'm not your maid. I'm not this. I'm not your mama. Okay, you're not all this, but what are you? You told me what you're not, but what are you? What's the positive? I would never consider a provider to include personal maintenance like hair and nails. That's a small change. Sounds crazy to me, but I guess that's what's going on out here. Yeah, that's what's going on out here. Come on, that's feigned ignorance in my book. I'm telling you, OP, they don't know. Women have provided that short, simple list to men, but for some, it was not enough. Some men go out seeking more. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, uh, I'm not condoning that type of stuff, but they're not pretending. We are approaching 80% of kids raised in single mother homes. Many women don't know how to coexist with a man. They don't understand men. Yeah, that's important. That's important, Eric. That's really important. It's not pretending. They don't know. They haven't been around men. They don't care about men. And if they did grow up around any type of boys, the boys were shut down, shut up, total silence. Go sit down in the corner. Go play a video game. Right? We're not going to listen to you. Right? Smash the patriarchy. And now you got boys who don't know how to be men, don't know how to provide the things that were essential, and you got the girls who don't know what to expect from a man because they haven't had fathers or strong male presence in their life. And so, and then to Miles's point, you just told the girls, all listen, girl, all he wants is this, so that's all you got to do is just put it down in the bedroom and you get all this. Okay, but he still has some emotional needs. He still needs, a lot of times ladies are better organized and better multitaskers, all this other type of stuff. So why don't you know to do those types of things? Why don't you know to do those types of things? And if you do those types of things, it's seen as being, I'm not your mama. It's oppression. It's 1950s. Okay. A man wants to be taken care of, and women know this, but they just don't know how. I'm not pretending not to know. I just genuinely asking. I'll nourish my man and provide him with intimacy if he treats me well. Well, no, I'm not saying you don't know, but I'm saying a lot of women don't know. And what is, and a lot of women don't understand that. And what does it mean to nourish? What, and I think that Fairly Godmother really kind of laid it out, those 14, 15 points that she said. That's what it means to nourish, to organize this stuff. When he comes in from a long day or whatever, that is nourishing. So these types of terms that are blanket, you got to break them down so we can, you got to extrapolate the words there. What does it mean to nourish? And I'm not saying you don't know this. I'm saying this for anyone else who's watching. You got to know what this man wants and what is it going to take for him. Every man's going to be different. So he might be an organized person himself, but a person like myself, I need that type of organization, right? I struggle with that. So, but you got to know your man and know what it takes to really please him. And if you haven't figured that out, and if it's seen as oppression, is seen as negative, and seen as I'm your mama, and seen as I'm your maid, and seen as I'm not your maid, I'm not your chef, I'm not your personal assistant, I'm not your secretary, I'm not making your doctor's appointments. Okay, well, what are you doing here then? I mean, you got to fill in some type of role here. You got to do something to contribute to the organization. Men and women want reciprocity, but it's like we're waiting to see what the other's going to get before we give. This is the issue. But I think we established here that most women want the men to initiate, but somewhere along the line, there's got to be some reciprocity in the initiation. Tommi Lahren said it. I want men who are going to chase me. I'm not chasing no man. And if you screw up, it's over. And you got to ask all these questions. Are you single? And all the stuff that she laid out. That's why she was able to articulate that. When it comes to wanting what her husband, professional athlete, wants, crickets. Crickets. Crazy. Yeah, I can see that. They just don't know, but it's so easy to figure out how. It just shows they just don't care to figure. That's a good point. They don't care. They don't got to do it. Basically, they don't see us as human beings. Dr. L, we are literally living in the mouse utopia in real time. It's really scary. Yeah, I always meant to do a show about that. People don't realize it. If you look at the mouse utopia, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The female mice turn it into male mice. Stop caring for the young babies. It was crazy. You ever read the Mouse Utopia? Absolutely crazy. Maybe I'll do that one day. I'm willing to go first with no expectations, but eventually there should be some kind of return, willing spirit. Yeah, no interaction starts unless the man starts giving anyway. We've been giving all right. And this is such a great point. Some women never grew up with a man in the household, which is really a shame. I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to grow up with my father in the same house. Yeah. What if the woman isn't good at organizing either? What if she's not a great cook? Then what? Well, I think you got to make it work somehow and find some matters in there. Like guy's better cook, that's fine. You got to make it work, and you got to make it work for whatever it is that you have, whatever strengths that you have. You got to, or whatever weaknesses you have, you just look for the strengths in the other, and vice versa. Now, if a woman's not a good cook, that doesn't really matter to me because I can and do cook. I've always cooked, so it's like I just take at that point. But your positives got to outweigh the negatives, and if it's not organizing for me, organization for me is really important, and I really kind of need that. And I don't like living in a messy or unorganized home. I just don't, and that's a struggle for me. That's a struggle for me because I'm like, where did I put this at? And a lot of times the ladies we're like, "Oh, it's over here. I, I've al- I've always that to me is essential. That's me. That's me. Other people might not want that, so you got to figure out. I think there's some basics, sex silent sandwiches, but after that, you got to figure out what your man wants and be that nourisher and figure out what it is and not just fight against it and tell him, I'm not this, I'm not your chef, I'm not your maid, I'm not your housekeeper, I'm not your whatever, I'm not your mama. You got to figure all that out. Yeah, I think we as a community underestimate that factor that we don't grow up in those communities. The three F's are not seen as oppression. Men are not a monolith. Organization specific needs a person to person. Agreed. She will. She would need to know how to do something, or he'll get rid of her ASAP. Yeah, you gotta figure out something. You can't just sit here doing nothing. You can't just sit here doing nothing. That ain't gonna fly with me. And, I, and the problem is, I think it's flown for way too many men because they haven't been taught to expect anything, and they've been taught. The men also have been taught, I'm not gonna expect anything, and as long as she's giving me some loving, then that's all I really need. And so the women are expecting more and more. So I think it's okay for the men to expect more and more. It's good for the goose, right? The guys laugh about only wanting the three S's, but if she gives it, it seems like men are still not satisfied. Probably, probably. Exactly, my girl. This list is the physical basics, but what are the emotional wants of men? Um, I think I think it's hard for the emotional wants of men. Not saying that men don't have them, but I don't know if women are really equipped to meet them. And I'm speaking in generalities. Obviously, it's going to again vary from person to person. But we've all heard the stories, and I've talked about this, where men who reveal their emotions are punished for it. Either the woman leaves them, she brings it up later. So those are real fears that men have. And so a lot of times guys are forming more groups. Matter of fact, I was in I sat in, well, it was a Zoom call I was in on Saturday about a men's group, just talking, just having a good conversation about what it is to be a man in this day and this time. um so the emotional needs of men, while they exist, I don't know, a general woman. And listen, I have had women say to me, "Listen, if a man starts breaking down to me and starts talking to me, I can't take it. I can't take it." So men, not only have they been the socialization of men to be quiet or to hold their emotions inside doesn't just come from other men telling them to do that. It comes from a reward system of telling men not to do those types of things from the women, or at least the women have expressed that in a non-verbal way, in a physical way, that I can't do it. You can see the look on your face, the body language changes, um, the respect for you changes. I thought you were a man, you could deal with this. What do you mean you got a problem on your job? You got a man, you got to toughen up. Whether they say it or whether their body actions, bodily physical reactions say it, the men get the message. You can't open up. You can't open up. So if women are really concerned about the emotional viability, and in the video, I didn't show it, but they talked about when was the last time you cried, right? Um, in the video with the Tommi Lahren and all that. You guys can go watch the full video. They want to know that men are available to do this type of thing. But in reality, in the real world, when men show their emotions, it's punished. It's punished. So men want to know that they are heard. If I had a bad day at work, can I talk to you about it? If my I got passed over for a promotion, whatever it is that men are going through, they go through stuff, right? A lot of guys come home from the military, they got issues going on. Police officers got stuff going on. Firefighters have seen some crazy stuff. Paramedics see some crazy stuff, right? These doctors see some stuff. They're working emergency trauma and all that kind of stuff, right? Your male nurses, they see all this stuff, right? You're a teacher, you're particularly male teacher, right? If you see your kids getting, molested and stuff, not that you see it, but you understand that this is going on. That stuff is traumatizing to us too. But we have been told to suck it in and hold it in for far too long. And it manifests in different ways. So it would be nice to have someone to sit there and listen to us. But if we can't let it out with our female mates, then we're going to find someone else who we can get it out with. So men are still defining their emotional needs because of the socialization telling them not to be emotional. Yeah, absolutely. We want sauce for the goose. Reliance is important as well. Who taught men not to expect anything? Society, men or women? I think it comes from all. I think it comes from everyone. If you want anything, you got to be a giver, be a provider, be strong. Don't expect anything from a woman. I think I think it comes from everywhere. I think socialization. We're all in on this socialization. It's not like men are telling their young cousins and sons and etc. to expect the thing, but the women are also telling them that too. The women are also they're also telling them that. Everybody talks about the patriarchy. Women are participating in the patriarchy too. That's part of it. You want a strong man. And whatever it takes to be strong. And the fact, and one of the biggest reinforcers is access to women, right? So this guy over here is stoic. He's not talking. He's not expecting anything. He's got this thing going on, but he's got money. I'm going to be just like him as a little kid or even a teenager. I'm going to be just like this guy over here, or this guy over here who is more emotional and more sensitive, but he don't have any women. And even women have said this, right? I don't like swearing all the time, but I've heard women say, listen, when I look at a man, I want to know how many bitches he got. You're participating in it. If that's what's one of the first things that you're looking at, you're participating in it. Let's see. Social media. Yeah, those are ones. Living in the same space is a huge step, but that comes after compatibility is established. Never cohabitated personally. Yeah. Women have to want to give those 3 S's, so it can't be treated as a task, but something that they enjoy doing for a husband. Yeah, I think that's a big part, is that because they haven't been socialized to do it, it's a struggle and it's a problem for them. It's a struggle. I don't want to do. I've watched many videos of ladies saying, "I'm not your mama. I'm not your nurse. I'm not your personal assistant. I don't want them to do all that." So they don't want to do it. They don't enjoy cooking. They don't enjoy being nurturing, whatever that means. They don't enjoy it, and that's fine. Some guys want that, and some guys don't. You gotta, as Miles said, you gotta establish that cooperation, that cohabitability. What did he say? Compatibility. You gotta establish that compatibility, right? Expectations from both parties need to be determined before getting in a relationship, not just hoping for the best once in it. Agreed. Definitely agree with that. Clearly, that's not a nurturing woman. We have to do better, take time, and choose wisely. That's so true. The first time a man cried in my presence, I had to check my response to ensure I showed empathy. I felt very uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't think he knew that you were uncomfortable? You don't think that you don't think he knew that? Comes from Tommi Lahren. All right. As we end the show, we get more and more people. Listen, y'all hit the like button. Tune in earlier. I don't know what I got to do. Some food, give me some time and some food, time and place. I think it's a great point that both people should to articulate when they specifically need. Everyone is different. You got to tell people. This idea that people should just know that. Listen, one of the biggest things that's always bothered me in any type of relationship, you got to just know. I don't just know. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a mind. I don't know. You got to you got to be point. I just had this conversation with my son the other day. You got to tell people. You got to tell people. You got to open up your mouth. You got to tell people. It may be uncomfortable for you to express it. Maybe you think they should know that. Right? Here's in my case, a 52-year-old guy. How come you don't notice about? Listen, everybody's different. Everybody's different, and I don't know. So just tell me. Right? That the woman in the video had to demonstrate how she wanted her man to be. I want you to bring me some flowers. I want you to bring me some Kit Kats. I want you to put these rose petals all over the place. Here's the exact. You got to tell him because he don't know. He don't know. I do think as men we should be comfortable saying no to our women, express when we believe we've been wronged, and we can do that from a place of calm strength. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I do think we're comfortable telling our women no. I think that a lot of times we don't like. This is another socialization problem that men have, is that we don't want to see a woman cry or be upset. We don't want to see that, right? Remember the videos that I showed, right? The guy knew his woman's gonna be upset. So what did he do? I know it's a skit. What did he do? He met her with her presumably her favorite food, some sushi, had a neck pillow, had her bonnet. He knew it. You got to know your woman. And we don't want to see a woman upset, because we got to go someplace, and I want to go there and have a good time wherever they were going in the skit. I want to go there and have a good time, so I got to calm you down. You got to know that, and so we got to figure out how you do that for everyone. People are used to content creators having 4-hour lives. Yeah, that's a little extreme here. That's a little extreme. Auntie Anita, the link is in here. I don't know if you can see it. I thought I pinned it, but did I not pin it? If you want to join in, it's pinned. Should be pinned to the top there. Every person on the planet is responsible for getting their needs met. I absolutely. That was one of the most liberating. I remember I read that in the Facebook chat. I read that in the Facebook chat one time, and it was really liberating to me because it let me know I wasn't crazy. Right? I'm trying to do all this kind of crazy stuff. Right? You got to speak up, and whether it's sexual needs, whether it's emotional needs, you got to speak up. You got to speak up. People are not mind readers. Give me a list. Yeah, put it in there. It's emotionally immature to believe that myth. Yeah, I definitely agree. The people, they're not mind readers. Ain't nobody got time for that. Grown adults open their mouths and speak. Agreed. Communication is key. That's way too long. Yeah, better love movement. Hello, lady. I've seen even longer. I fell asleep and woke up. Listen, some of the guys I follow, they be doing 6 and 7 hour lives. I'm like, oh my God. I wouldn't mind that, but I can't be the only one talking for 6 and 7 hours. Real active listening skills are not always employed. Yeah, that's definitely true, Chris. Men understand the assignment as a boy. I would think women are groomed as well. They're not. I don't think that they are. Men understand as a little boy. Men, again, think about what we talked about. If the boys are growing up in homes where there is no masculine presence, then they understand they understand from an early age they have to help to regulate the emotions in the house. The women, they don't want to see mama upset. They don't want to see their sisters upset. They become guard dogs, pit bulls, attack dogs for their sisters, even for the little brothers and all that kind of stuff. But they never learn what is it going to take to please me. So they may have a problem understanding that themselves, and so they know what it takes to give that love, but to receive that love, it may even be uncomfortable. I think I told a story about a friend of mine who was retiring from the police department, tried to throw his brother a party. He was, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I had to talk to him. Listen, man, you're denying other people from the ability to express their care, appreciation, and love for you. But we are so used to not being receivers. So I like a man to be very frank with me. That's is nice guy behavior. Masculine men say no. Yeah. Communication. All right. Let's see. I wish that men would give women a chance and not assume we're not willing to give them what they want and need. Social media. Yeah, that is definitely true. And I'm figuring that out more and more, just go on vacation, you go outside, touch grass, see the real world. See, everybody's not living like this. I mean, the videos I put up here are extreme. They are not real life. This woman wants $15K a month in support. I mean, where are they doing this at? They're definitely not real. But you go outside, I see people, we all see it, people who are walking around with beautiful women, guys with short, fat pot bellies. The real world is vastly different from social media. So sometimes we got to turn that off and really get to the real world. But I do think that there's a lot of ladies. I do think that a lot of ladies who really don't know what a man wants. I absolutely believe that. For a lot of us, men are complete mysteries. For a lot of us women, men are complete mysteries. We assume that they're one thing, then realize they're so much more, but we're not always equipped to deal with that. That's the emotional stuff I was talking about. They're not equipped to deal with it. You're not equipped. Men, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a joke about the 3 F's or S's or whatever, but guys have emotions too. They have thoughts and feelings and fears and all that. They have them, and when they express them, if you turn them off, good luck trying to turn them back on again. All right, we're not gonna make this a 4-hour stream. Almost 2 hours here. I'll take it. I had to take a break because it was bringing me down. I definitely agree with that. I'm actually trying to change my algorithm. I have to watch this stuff for my the put ups to get some content and stuff. But I'm really trying to change my algorithms about this because I want to be more positive. You have to understand that there's actually generational women who never grew up around men. They grew up in single mother households. Agreed. Great comment. I totally understand, HJ. I hear you. I'm so glad I know what men want. My father taught me. Well, that's great. That's great. And I hope that more women are out there telling men, telling the ladies what men want. Start a class or start a YouTube channel or write a blog or do something to tell. Because a lot of women don't know. They just get here and just show up and just think it's crazy. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I really, really appreciate the comments. Thank you so much in particular to, I don't know if they're still here, to Safi and to Fairly Godmother, who put in a comprehensive list. I want to kind of focus on them again. I can't find them though. Put in a comprehensive list to what men want. And so if you guys would go over that list, I'm not saying, first of all, you got to know your man and what it takes. And you got to do something. You got to do something. Right? Respect, admiration, great sex, homemade cooking, intelligent conversations, prayer partner, organization, housekeeping, effective communication, great nurturing, effective parenting, ride or die, humor. And laugh at his jokes. You all should, that should be one of the biggest things up there is laugh at that man's jokes. Especially mine. All right. So thanks for all that. Thank you everyone who put something in here. I really appreciate it. If you feel so inclined to buy me some lunch, I would appreciate a Cash App or Venmo. Hit me in the comment section. I do have a video dropping tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in for tonight. If you have a something for me to talk about, I'm trying to get to some other stuff this week that people have reached out to me that I want to hear my opinion about. So, and if you do send me a video, please send me a video with a timestamp on it. I don't have the 2 and 3 hours to sit through videos and stuff. So I am a busy guy. Might not seem like it, but I am a busy guy. Fairly Godmother's list is long, but that's what. Listen, if you do that though, some of those things, I think you'll make some progress. Have a great week, everyone. Good night, Mod Squad. Good night, Mod Squad in chat. Thank you so much. Listen, we will see you guys. Take care of yourselves. Much love and peace.